for those of you who are not familiar with this feature, Vyond Go leverages the power of generative AI to create a short video on the topic of your choice. If you're ever struggling with how to get started on a video, come up with a script or just visualize an idea that you have, Vyond Go can kind of be a great starting point and give you something to react to. So let's dive into that. So when you log in, you're going to come to a homepage that sort of looks like this. To access Vyond Go, you're going to go ahead and select Create, and then you're going to go Text to Video. So this is going to take you to a landing page where you have the option to choose from several different prompt inputs to generate your video. So two main ways you can structure your prompt to get a video out of Vyond Go. So one is you can put in a fairly broad topic and then allow the AI model to fill in the gaps. So you can generate an open-ended prompt by selecting the suggest a topic here. Or you can type in your own, like tips for effective project management, something like that. And then the model will sort of fill in the gaps. Alternatively, you can use a more detailed content outline or even a script if you have one to use as the foundation for your video. So a couple of ways you can do that. Just delete this. You can add, a Word doc, a PDF, a PowerPoint, or a TXT file, so long as it's within these limits. You can also link to a website. Just make sure it's not your password protected intranet. It's only going to work if the website is publicly available. So you can also use that as the basis for your video, or you can copy and paste in a more detailed content outline, which in this case, that's what I'm going to do. So let me go ahead and grab that. Okay, let me take that. I'm going to go ahead and paste that in. So you can see here's my detailed content outline. I should also mention that if you have an existing script and you'd like that one-for-one output, you can go ahead and toggle over to script, and you can just paste that script in. No need to put things like stage directions or anything like that. Just the dialogue will do, and then that can be the foundation for your video. So I'll go back to topic. So here's our more detailed outline on tips for project management. When you go down, you have the option to select the language output for your video as well. So if you'd like to set that in advance, you can certainly do that as well. And then once you're here, you have the ability to pick the layout of your choice. So you'll see we have a couple different options here. We've got these talking head options. We've just added these AI avatar templates that you can kind of try out if you'd like with Vyond Go. And then you'll see some of our more animated options down in here. We also have conversation templates, so conversations between, two people in a variety of settings. And then lastly, we have these narration templates. So, if maybe you're working on more serious subject matter, or maybe your stakeholders don't love animated characters, these ones are probably going to work best for you. They're going to create a video that's going to pull relevant images from our Shutterstock and prop library to sort of emphasize your point on your topic. The other thing that we've just started offering is that you can see we'll do, for an extra fee, if you want, you can also get custom Vyond Go templates made. If that's something you're interested in, you can reach out to our support team at support@vyond.com, and they'll connect you with the appropriate salesperson. But in this case, I'm going to go ahead and select this one. I like it. It's kind of simple and elegant. And then you'll have these optional settings as well that you can choose from. They really just kind of make slight adjustments to the tone of your video. So, if I toggle over to tips, since this is kind of broadly about tips for project management, I'll just go ahead and do that. So from there, all you're going to do is just select create video. And then we're going to, hopefully in the next 30 to 40 seconds, we'll be able to see our video. And what you should see is we'll have our video on the left-hand side here that we can preview and see how it looks. Then down on the right-hand side, we're going to have a panel, and the panel is going to show us all the text in our video as well as the dialogue in the video. So that narration voiceover, we'll be able to make quick changes to that as well. So here we go. So you can see that panel coming in now. And what I'll do once this is finished loading is I'll just go ahead and play like the first 30 seconds or so of the video, just so you kind of get a sense. You can see it's like a minute 20, but you can see here, T, that's text on the screen, and then the little robot, that's our voiceover narration. So go ahead and play this for you.
Did you know that poor project management can lead to a 70% failure rate? Let's explore some tips to ensure your next project is a success. First, define your project scope and timeline clearly. Outline your stakeholders' goals and create specific objectives. Next, create a comprehensive project plan with all necessary steps. Include a project schedule and available resources for clarity. Communication is key. Keep team members and stakeholders updated.
So you sort of get the idea here. Now, I think we can all agree there's already a few things here that we're going to want to change. That's the thing about AI. It's like it can do a lot of the heavy lifting for you, but then you're going to want to customize it and sort of really make it your own. So the first thing we can do is make quick changes to the script. So let's look at this top bit here. Did you know that poor project management can lead to a 70% failure rate? Well, maybe for your organization, that number is maybe not quite so high, but still relatively high. Like we could say 30% failure rate. So I can just click in and make that change, and that's going to change my voiceover narration. I'm also going to want to make that change in the text as well because we want it to match, obviously. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Then I can go ahead and select Save Changes. Those changes that I have saved, they're going to be reflected in the video in real time. So now that it's saved, if I hit play.
Did you know that poor project management can lead to a 30% failure rate?
So we've got those quick changes to the script already done. And similarly, if you had a character, you could switch out the character. In our case, we've just got the text-to-speech voice, but maybe we want to change that. Maybe we don't love the voice of Abby. If you click on that, you can come here, and if you're an enterprise or agency user, you can select from one of the Well Said Labs options, or you can come down here and select our other high-quality voices here as well. I'm going to select Ava. She's a personal favorite of mine, and I can go ahead and select Save Changes. And then it's going to go ahead and update her voice throughout the video. So once that's done, I can preview it again just so you can hear what it sounds like.
Some tips to ensure your next project is a success. First, define your project scope and timeline clearly.
So there we've got that new voice as well. So we've made a couple of quick changes already, but there are definitely more substantial changes we're going to want to make once we're in the platform. So to do that, we're going to come up here, go to Full Edit in Vyond Studio. And that's going to take us into Vyond Studio where we can make those kind of bigger changes. So I'm just going to close this out. So let's start with the images. So we got these boards here. I think they're supposed to sort of act like signposts, but it's not my favorite, and I don't think it really fits here. That's the thing with AI, it may miss the mark sometimes. So maybe we want to swap that out with a more relevant image. So if I click on that and I come up to this replace button here, I could search, I'm going to do a kind of like for like swap. So I'm going to go to our Shutterstock integration, and I'm just going to search for project management. Just want to see what's in the Shutterstock library that might be a little more descriptive than some wooden boards. So we've actually got some videos we could use as well. You could always swap those in. I think I'm looking for something like, oh, let me go back up. Let's go for this one. This seems like a good one. And so what you'll notice once I've swapped it in, like the aspect ratio and everything's the same, it's going to maintain that same motion path, as you can sort of see here. So we really just swapped in a different image. So that's good. There might be a few more instances in the video where we want to swap things out as well. You can kind of go through that and see. So once you've done that, another thing you might want to change is maybe the color scheme. Like this yellow is nice. I mean, the template is called Buttercup, so it's very fitting. But maybe I'd like it to reflect more of my own colors. So one thing you can do is you can click down on the timeline here. And if you hold Shift and use your arrow keys, you can select this here. It's also Control A on a PC. You should be able to do this as well. And then select all of your scenes like this. Then you're going to want to come down to Asset View here. And what you'll see is it's going to show me the number of times certain shapes appear in my video. So you can see we've got these yellow rectangles, and we might want to kind of change those. It looks like there's a couple different types of rectangles, so we might have to make a few changes. But if I click on this one, I can come here and I can type in an RGB or HSB code for my branding colors if I'd want. If you're an enterprise or agency user, you also have the ability to have the color palettes. So I'm just going to use that. So that's going to change a few of them, but I want to change all of these kind of buttercup yellow rectangles. So I'm just going to go ahead and make that switch right there. So you can kind of see as we go through that those yellow rectangles are now all that kind of Vyond orange. So it's an easy way. Asset View is a great way to kind of quickly brand the videos as you're using them. The other thing I'll say about Asset View, so it works across scenes or a series of scenes, but it also works for individual scenes. So this is a relatively simple template, but I know some of the other Vyond Go templates we have are a little complicated, or even if you've built a scene that has a lot of different assets in it, you might find that it's like hard to select certain parts of the, like if you're looking to get a certain prop, but there's a lot of things around it, it's hard to select. You can always open Asset View and select the thing you want here, and it'll highlight it in the scene for you. Excuse me, I'm just gonna have a little bit of tea. So if you're ever struggling to select something, this happened on a workshop just the other day with selecting our rain prop. You can always come to Asset View and select things there as well. It can kind of help you manipulate things as you'd like. So just a little pro tip there.